pop out next. But we are in on the draft, ladies and gentlemen, for Cursed Hollow. First pick, first ban on the side of Vox.
This is something to where Gale Force at times has brought out something super weird. I think that what we've seen is first ban Zeratul by Vox this time.
They had that one Void Prison in that last match or that last game where it set themselves up for that advantage. Level plus lead in their favor. But beyond that, the Zeratul wasn't necessarily like winning the team fights. Good hero overall. But maybe they're thinking that's not the value ban. They're going for the ban on Vala, trying to control the ranged assassins. Maybe they're trying to snipe Li Ming here for first pick.
I did not see that at all. I wouldn't be surprised if Li Ming ends up being the choice. I think there's a lot of potential when you look at the first pick. We saw what happened before on Brax's not too long ago, to where you can choke out some of these safer assassins to play, and you're left with something that might not be ideal to what you're used to running. So we'll see if that ends up being a factor.
They got to be worried about Muradin now, though. That's why the ETC ban is so smart. It's a global ban. It's a really strong hero. And then you say, do we want to be stuck with Johanna or whomever? Ooh.
It's one way to lock in an early global.
Is it ETC Mura? Or Li Ming Mura, excuse me.
Old Gale Force, I think it'd be 100%. New Gale Force seems to be a little bit more diversity in what they're trying to do.
That's true.
We have seen them. I mean, first pick Brightwing, I think, kind of denies Illidan. I think that's one of the things, because Gale Force likes to run Illidan on this map, as do a lot of people.
The other thing you got to think about right now is Tassadar, because if Tassadar is not selected from GFE, Tassadar Brightwing, very common pairing, especially on Cursed Hollow, especially with heroes like Illidan or Tracer. So I actually think, due to that first pick Brightwing, the prioritization of that hero changes completely.
Yeah, and now Gale Force is dipping deep into their time pool. I think you made the absolute perfect point with that first pick Brightwing. I think it evens the playing field in terms of draft.
Oh, yeah.
And some of those crazy
It's
heroes.
very smart.
Well, there's
GFE
Muradin.
yeah.
Is it Li Ming?
They could still do tasks and just kind of figure it out, right? Because, well, who's to say they can't run Tracer? Who's to say they can't run Illidan?
Well, we already saw Crowan play Muradin. So I think that...
Could be Equinox on the Tracer.
Yeah.
We saw that. You talked about that being something that happened. They go for the mouth. They just want to have the rock-solid defense. They say, you know what? You can run Illidan. You can run Tracer. You can do whatever you want if that's what you're looking to do. We're going to be prepared to fight it. We're just going to draft how we want to play.
So if you first pick Brightwing, do we see the potential multiple globals come in for one team? We've seen that have good success, but as you talked about, the contention for Li Ming, when you pick up Vala and you take Li Ming, it leaves your choices a little bit thinner in terms of those ranged assassins.
Well, GFE could still go for Falstad if he doesn't get banned out, which is definitely a fine pick for them if they do need that ranged assassin. Also, you know, it gives them the global that they would want. Vox. Zeratul.
Right.
Not Tassadar.
They had hovered
Zeratul.
banning Zeratul, and now they're just like, yeah, we'll pick it up. Much like Lieutenant Morales, Malfurion also has scouting drone.
Yeah, it's very true. But I don't know if it's
It might not be necessary.
you got Moonfire.
We
Such
saw
a
it
short
worked earlier.
cooldown, just free mana, just throw them out there.
Did I get it? Do we see a priority to ban out another ranged assassin for Vox Nihili?
I think they could try to lock the Warriors down here. I think I would prefer that over a ranged assassin. Maybe they say, well, Dahaka Brightwing, that's a little spooky, guys. Or maybe they say they want to take out a laner. It is going to be Dahaka.
I think taking away the globals is
Ooh.
what they're looking at right now because
Yeah.
they're Falstad, yeah.
Okay, cool. So that gives them control on the range as they please. Not the biggest of deals with Li Ming already being locked in. Tassadar, they're fearful of the Tracer or the Illidan.
Can you blame them?
No.
I mean, this evens the playing field a lot for Fox. They don't care. Illidan's being hovered. Playing Illidan in a Brightwing is always a scary prospect.
Illidan
It's
okay.
old school.
Now, Zarya, still a really strong last pick for GFE if they want to go for it. They're going to leave that pick responsive. But, man, if you lit that Sylvanas push on Cursed, she's good for that. Question is, how much value will Wailing Arrow get in this game?
Well, if you're hitting that back line, you're going to hope that you are able to get value out of Illidan hitting them while they're silenced. And we actually saw a really good Illidan play earlier. Get some good value. But Dahaka, isolation, the tongue grab. You can isolate Illidan with Zeratul VP on the back line and just priority target. We'll see.
Did you play Heroes back when Illidan had his old kit?
It depends on how far back.
He used to have a silence in his base kit.
No, I didn't play that.
He was a way different hero back then. I don't know why I'm thinking of that randomly. I guess my brain wanders deep into the night. Well, Vox, they have one more hero. Lone Support Brightwing can certainly work, but will they want to trickle in some more support somehow, some way? Dahaka also not a very common frontline tank. To me, I feel some decent power in Tyrael, some decent power in Zarya to fill those gaps. They're looking at Thrall. Could this be Earthquake? Very strong solo laner. Earthquake versus an Illidan diving in.
Whoa. I mean, friend or foe is definitely going to be your friend at level 4 for Illidan to be able to get out of danger, but that could be fun. That could be a lot of fun.
And if you're saying, what is this caster saying? Earthquake? Well, it just got a big change here where it's a lot more beneficial, but... Hello?
Okay.
Zeratul's going to be tough.
Earthquake, though? Okay, there's two things that come to mind. Obviously, Earthquake, I think, is definitely the one of choice. You were going to say it does damage now. Did you get that out?
Damage,
During my
trade
excitement of
activation,
Vikings?
everything, yeah.
Yeah. So it does a lot. It does a heck of a lot for Thrall. If you VP that back line and you don't have a dive target out, if you're Illidan, you're stuck in it.
Yeah.
Second off, Lost Vikings. NA doesn't play Lost Vikings.
No, they don't.
We're about to find out if they do. I imagine, is that Crowan? Is that Equinox? They put Crowan back on Merc?
Could be Fan.
I think Fan's going to be on Illidan. We're going to find out.
It's Udall, the noodle himself.
It's happening.
All right, guys. Game number 2, 1-0 lead for Gale Force Esports here. Going into Cursed Hollow. A rare sighting of the Lost Vikings.
Weird draft by both teams. Solo, Warrior Dahaka with Zeratul flanking. Thrall there. Li Ming going to be your big damage.
I feel like dominance is a must. Self-sustain as much as possible with Lex Luthor as a lone Brightwing. Thrall does fine in his own, staying alive, makes that pick very valuable. Strong solo laner as well. Lost Vikings, have to keep eyes on that Zeratul as Michael Udall is going to be across the map with those heroes, now looking for his split. But this is an old school strategy. Sylvanas, Lost Vikings. You split the Vikings, you soak 2 lanes. Sylvanas locks down the tower with a 4-man push. You just rotate after you take out the towers from one lane to the next. You try to get yourself a nice experience lead very early on. And if it works out well, you continue to ride that momentum throughout the game. Problem being, if...
Tiger mount, by the way. God, that thing's beautiful.
The Golden Tiger?
I want one.
They're really hard to get now. You have to buy a Heroes from Starter Pack, which they don't make anymore.
Rip.
Yeah.
Well, here's the strategy you talked about, Jake. It's being responded to, albeit it's going to be a little bit late. I don't think they're going to be able to get too much value. But a little bit to start is all that you need. They're forcing the rotation out. Brightwing has now left the top lane. Dahaka will be able to rotate to the top of this Brush Stalker, though.
You see Eric's position here. He's stealthed. He's actually a ward, and he's looking for pretty much Zeratul. Zeratul will be roaming, trying to get the ganks. Pull off hard target to gank. They actually double committed with Daihu, really trying to nullify that safe soak of the Vikings.
I've said this a lot, and this is something that gets brought up a lot when I talk about Vikings with pro players, is they say the number one thing that you have to be able to do with the Vikings is to have kill threat against those Vikings, to be able to take them out of the lane, even if it's just one. Dahaka and Zeratul both fit that role, so we'll see how much priority they're able to get and how well Michael Udall, how safe he plays to allow his team to build up, hopefully, what we would think would be an early lead.
Well, Dahaka has been doing wonders. He's already taken a single tower ammunition gone in the top lane, so his presence here versus that Olaf, who cannot contest Dahaka on his own, has kept them in a pretty darn even footing for this early pressure strategy.
Well, there's the beacon you talked about. Zeratul has been spotted by Equinox. Not going to sneak up on him in that back line, but the experience pretty even so far.
Udall is moving Eric. This is
not a good spot to be in?
No, it's not.
Not 100%
There's
sure.
Go. He saved it. Oh, just barely getting out of range of the orb. He's so adamant about getting that.
What's happening?
He's not even in the bush. Okay, well, top lane, Dahaka. Evening the odds, actually getting the fountain.
It looks like he's gotten equal value
he has.
compared to a four-man push with Sylvanas.
Really well done. Really well done.
First tribute, though, has spawned. Well, we'll spawn in 5 seconds. Woo! Tried to predict that blink.
All right, there's the tribute in the top. Eric has put himself into the bottom like Suther. Doesn't really have the kill potential. Will phase shift when needed to maintain that presence. That means there's no soak now in the bottom lane. Once again, Lost Vikings getting that value.
The longer this goes on, the more value you get. So Gale Force, will they try kind of this poke delay comp? Are they going to try
have a lot.
Get in there?
They can't get him.
Yeah, Lex Uther.
Great peels.
They really don't. They did pick up a Loon's Grace at level 4 for Malfurion, so that gives you some extra range. Daihu instantly Brush Stalkers to the bottom to deal with that soak, so nicely done by Vox Nihili.
This Dahaka is working out very well versus the Lost Vikings. Always able to respond to the global presence with either Brightwing or Dahaka as needed. Starting to grab some mercenary camps, the rest of the team roaming together as a squad as Udall keeps the soak in all the lanes. It's still, so far so good for Michael Udall. I gotta say, he's had good Lost Viking control. Leaving the Viking there a little long. He's gonna run away at this moment. Try to make sure he gets soak at the bottom, but they get a kill on top on Thrall.
They did get the kill, and that's going to allow them to push in and try and stretch their lead just a little bit. The next tribute spawn is going to be key on the next rotations. If that is also up at the top, which that's the potential of where it could spawn for the second spawn, then you can know that the third one will be spawning at the bottom. So it is going to be on the friendly side, which means the next one will be on that same friendly side as Gale Force. This is a crucial moment to see what they can get out of it and where they rotate to next.
All right, Daihu did go up with a Brush Stalker, big damage on him, and he's going to barely get that burrow, but not enough heals behind that. One kill for either side as Illidan and Dahaka fall, but the follow-ups, Hosty popping nerds left and right.
I think this is a great opportunity to hop on the boss, and that's exactly what they're doing. They realize the next one, again, is going to be on the side of Gale Force, which means that right now this boss will be pushing the top lane. It's going to force a response. Somebody's going to have to deal with this. You can see a second tribute easily going over to Vox Nihili if this is how it plays out.
Ooh. Did get stomped. Hao Nguyen staying alive. Hearth and home. Boss has been collected. Now, Vikings maintaining the experience. That counts for a lot. That keeps the experience in check. But this boss, if he plows through a 4, and if Vikings get picked off, that quickly gets turned around. 10 will now be in favor of Vox first, for sure.
Jake, this seems like Vox Nihili has all the right answers so far in this early part of the game. We're only 5.5 minutes in, but Vox Nihili, outside of a couple of missteps on deaths.
They're going. Fan has gone over the wall. Tower is very low. Does Fan come into this node? Just gets the tower. Balog dead in the mid lane. No experience soak for them as well. Olaf in the bottom, making sure he can maintain that soak. Level 10 around the corner for GFE.
Well, here is the second tribute. Luckily, this is not curse point for Vox Nihili as we see Gale Force. They're going to be forced to rotate down. Level 10, though, picked up by both teams. We're seeing the hunt again, Jake.
I feel like this is their way of trying to keep up more global presence. Vikings with play again, pulling targets over. You know, there's a lot of cool opportunities that could happen here in this game. Also, I've always been a big fan of Hunt versus heroes like Brightwing. But if he's too far away or she's too far away from a blink kill, you never know. There's the Hunt coming on in from the bottom. The roots in place. The blink kill of Lex Uther barely getting him out. Olaf nearly getting the kill. And the Twilight Dream does find Zeratul. Meanwhile, Daihu getting very low.
Look at Krillin making plays going in. Fan as well joining the fray. As you can see, good use out of that haunting wave coming in. Zero hesitation. They're going for a boss. Earthquake was not used there.
Yeah.
Even as
I don't know if it would have mattered, though.
I think
it's hard to say.
It's hard to say because, oh, this is bad timing for Gale Force. They've got to hop on this immediately. They're going to have to send the Vikings up to at least try and delay that. Actually, they're going to send Equinox up. The ultimate delay is going to be that of Murd, and they've got to get up there quick, else this boss is going to be a wasted opportunity.
Yeah, you don't want to give up Curse. Udall did sneak around. How just barely did not see him. It's one did Eric. That's fine.
That's fine. That is more than okay.
Olaf still in bottom. Lex Uther. Haunting wave for the stall.
Are they going to give this up?
They are. They've got boss with Olaf in bottom. Vikings can maintain soak. It's not the worst curse in the world.
It's not. I mean, it's basically neutralized.
Ooh, that root was so valued.
I'm getting right onto that camp, huh? The hunt is available, so if they see somebody trying to split soak, Hosty caught in the middle. He is taking a lot of damage. There's the hunt. Earthquake has been used. We see the cleanse onto Equinox, and so far, so good. How, though? Coming in to do more damage.
The Wailing just barely missing Fan. Fan trying to get over with friend or foe Daihu looking for the kill, but the heals are coming through. Crow and Polymorph, down he goes on Sylvanas. Voss Vikings in the front blocking Daihu. The Stormbolt goes on in onto Lex Uther as he phase shifts forward. This is such a back and forth fight.
Nice route there to be able to have an extra disengage, and you can see the cannons are firing returning shots. Boss already cleared out, and you can see the value of the curse as these forts taking a bit of damage.
Okay, Vikings splitting for the soak. Level lead still in favor of Gale Force, and the curse has been spent. Not going to get a ton of value, but still enough. All the forts now incredibly low. Bottom four should end up going down to this next wave, which will push their experience over. Oh, they got mid as well. That's
Bottom
about as good as you
two.
can hope for. Yeah.
This is that was a good curse. I mean, the curse ended up paying off in the long run. You got a little bit. You're still down in terms of experience because of those last few kills, but Vox Nihili in pretty decent shape right now.
All right, Bruiser Camp just going to clean that up. 13 talents just about here for Vox. And that Earthquake worked pretty well overall. You know, we talk about the ability, and it forced Fan to immediately have to retreat. Dahaka was almost able to capitalize and find the kill. Heals were clutch from Mouth to top him off. But once it expires, they are again in retreat mode. It's just they don't have, like, unless Li Ming's getting kills and resets, that Earthquake isn't like, oh my god, we win the fight.
I just checked the timer. The top right boss about 15 seconds from spawning, so it's now back in play. Michael Udall caught out a little bit deep. He's got to be careful. Let's see if he can get away from the clutches of
He's trying to
Dahaka.
bait out the tongue. Oh, and there's the drag. That's a dead Eric. Oh.
Soon? TM? Oh, the jukes. It's the pressure of Sylvanas, though. Thing is that Gale Force, they've afforded themselves almost a 2-level lead. There's the stun. Hal taking a ton of damage. Earthquake has been used.
The Earthquake is good. The Wailing is better, stalling out a lot of their potential to capitalize on the slow there. But that VP, what can they do with it? Big combo going in onto Crow, and the poly follow-up. It's enough for the kill, but the trades onto Zeus. Thrall is down. Both one kill for each side. How very low. You see Fan looking for him in the backside. Teleporting away from Hosty just over the roots, but that leaves Dahaka out by himself, and the silence is good.
That Twilight Dream. It's the sound of that thing is so intimidating. But here comes what?
I just wish he was a real boomkin.
Well, this is going to be tribute number 2 picked up for Gale Force. There's going to be absolutely no contest here. No play on the boss. I think it's a little bit tough to grab, but think about this moment, Jake. Level 16, been picked up by Gale Force. They have a level and a half lead. If this or the next tribute spawns, 416 for Vox hits. Could be a pretty big moment for Gale Force.
Yeah, Gale Force is in a commanding position, that is for sure. The hunt being cast here onto Li Ming. Hosty gonna get the face shift. Beautiful teleport away, but Fan is not done. What does Fan love doing? Chasing Roots a little bit late. They're not able to catch anyone, and they're just gonna have to settle for this watchtower.
Talk about scary moments if you are Li Ming. The hunt was there to set up the follow-up stun. That blink at the last moment, teleport, not too bad.
Engage ward life.
So far, not too bad. A few slip-ups on Vikings, but so far so good. Getting good value out of it. They're getting the soak. They're getting where they need to be. He's behind the boss. I'm not sure if he wants to stay there too long, though.
You heard it. You saw him turn around. You can't spin with just one. They're all gonna do the little whirlwind wiggle.
Okay. Well, this should be Curse, and you can see instantly they're rotating up. But look at this. They have the Viking. They're scouting out the boss, and they see that. So instantly, Gale Force is going to rotate over. Look at that. He's like, hey, guys, I see you. They're like, what?
Vorpal and Equinox is here.
Equinox is coming up just to threaten to see if they're going to drop back. He's got to be careful not to stay too long. Void Person is there. He might have just made a big mistake. Nope.
They don't realize that they were going for boss. They actually could have got the kill on Equinox. Most likely, Dwarf Toss was cast and would have been a cooldown if they decided to try to collapse there. Even trades, except for the fact that there's a curse in play.
That's a scary moment with the curse in play because that means the minions should get more value, but that boss pushing top lane, remember earlier that keep was opened up just a little bit, but with the curse, you now have to throw. Look at that. They're going sidewall. They're going for mid keep right now, Jake.
Yeah, mid fort has fallen to Baylog and the minion push in the mid. Bottom has Olaf soaking with the boss, just min-maxing XP across the map. And of course, Eric's still on the top. The power of Lost Vikings on Cursed Hollow being shown perfectly here by Michael Udall.
Well, they're going to drop back, grab a camp, and this is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to maximize the value. They now have themselves a 2-level lead. As you can see, the boss getting quite a bit of damage in on this keep with 3 Vikings there. They should be able to take this down and save that. Look at that. Fox Nihili recognizing, coming over. This is ours.
Yeah, well, no, the camp was picked up by GFE. They're just going to clean it up after. So
that.
GFE gets the experience. That's what matters. The push is negligible considering the keep's already down. They just wanted the XP. And Vox was close to being able to take it away, but not quite. Gale Force maintained that top keep barely. Eric did wonders, being there by himself and bringing the rest of the Vikings back with play again. Well worth the cost of that heroic ability because the keep stays alive. Will we see Zerich die for his transgressions versus the keep once again? We're about to find out.
Level 20, though. Looming.
He's looking
really
at
big. Are we going to see the same thing we did? Yeah, they're going to be able to sneak this in. As soon as they see this, though, oh, this could be bad. You're going to get the keep, but I think you're going to give up a keep at the same time. They see that Sylvanas in a siege camp. You just traded a keep for a keep. That might be valuable in the long run, but
look at level 20. It is just about here for Gale Force. Eric has been soaking the top lane. Going to grab this watchtower while the hearths go through. Top lane in no risk whatsoever of being sieged up. I mean, these giants, they've got the lockdown right now.
They definitely have the lockdown, Jake. And as you said, level 20 is there. 2 keeps down on the side of Vox Nihili. They've got to come up with an answer. 0-0 in terms of tribute. So if they need to give up a tribute or 2, allow themselves to soak 20. Uh-oh.
Goodbye. Goodbye.
You can't VP when you're Twilight Dream.
So this is pro commentary. You just say goodbye when someone dies.
Goodbye. Love the way the animation just rips through the ground.
And that's game, guys. I mean, really well played here from Gale Forest. Like clutching it out. Phenomenal decision making, and the utility of Vikings throughout the game. We talked about the early game, like Sylvanas, Viking, the pressure you put on. Love the response we saw out of Dahaka. You know, good control there from Vox, but Michael Udall, finally a worthy